Hello my friends, 'tis I, Raptor, and I'm going to make the Hogwarts Legacy Field Guide. Hogwarts Legacy is a game set in the Harry Potter universe. You go to Hogwarts and do all the cool Hogwarts things such as going to class, making friends, exploring the grounds, disrupting the natural environment, and murder. Hogwarts Legacy is one of my favorite games. I love the environment, the gameplay, sometimes the story, but most of all, I'm a huge flip-floppin' nerd. I've read the Harry Potter books 5 million bajillion times, and Hogwarts Legacy fulfills all my nerdy little dreams. I've played through Hogwarts Legacy twice by now, and during both those playthroughs, I had an idea itching at the back of my little brain. At the beginning of the game, you are given a field guide by one of the professors at Hogwarts for unimportant plot reasons. This field guide contains all the knowledge and things in the game. It's meant to teach you about the wizarding world, which means it's a freaking fat book. I love leather books, especially fat leather books containing knowledge of fictional things. After 2 playthroughs of Hogwarts Legacy, I felt an unsatiated desire to have this book for myself. I would die if I didn't wrap my grubby little raptor hands around the leather cover of this book and flip through the pages. One small problem with that, however. The field guide isn't real. But menial things such as that cannot deter a Slytherin like myself. I will have that book. I will create it with my own 2 Slytherin hands. So here's the plan. First, I will make the bare bones of an empty book. I'll make the signatures of a book, but refrain from binding it just yet, because I have no idea how many pages I will need. Then, I'll play through the game once more, but as a Ravenclaw this time. As I play through, I will collect all the things in the field guide and put it into the blank signatures. When I finish the game and have all the signatures filled, I will bind the book together and give it a fancy leather cover. This task will be a long endeavor, fraught with many hardships. I cannot possibly dream of fitting it all in one video. So this is part 1 of many of creating the Hogwarts Legacy Field Guide. I'm going to very quickly do a little overview of what exactly I'm putting in the field guide. So, when you're given your field guide in the game, you have things like your map, quests, owl post, challenges, collections, talents, inventory, and gear. I will be making the map. The map will probably be the hardest one. Basically, as I play through the game, as I find things on the map, I will draw it out. I will make little versions of maps as I play through, and at the end I will make a large map. I'll probably have a large map of the land, large map of Hogwarts, large map of Hogsmeade, and everything else will be small maps. For my quests, it'll be more like a journal entry. I will write down at the beginning what the quest is, how I did the quest, things that occurred while doing the quest, and then my reward for the quest if there's a reward. For Owl Post, I will manually write each letter and then tape it into the field guide as I receive them. For challenges, again, very quick journal entry type thing. I will say that I accomplished the challenge, maybe some details, and then my reward for completing that challenge. For my talents, I'm going to have cards like this at the beginning of the field guide. It's going to be something that I can flip over and have both sides on, ready to access, and then I can mark down what talents I get at what time. Did I skip over collections? For my collections, I'm going to have little cardstock pieces of paper that I make little cards with this kind of border, and then inside I will draw the appearances, the enemies I fight, anything I buy, and then I'll just put it in when I get it. My inventory, I'm not going to put all of the things in my inventory, but I will be putting the spell components, or not spell components, the potion components that I collect. I can't put like an actual skull in the book, so I can have, I don't know, maybe little cardstock skulls. But I will be finding things like feathers, or something that resembles fluxweed, that kind of stuff. Maybe a squished fly. Yeah, I'll be putting those in the book. I think it'll just be kind of fun. Have a random leaf in the book. Yeah, for gear, it'll be pretty simple. I'll just say what I'm wearing, or I'll be drawing my character as I play through. Yeah. That's basically the overview of what I'm gonna do. Pretty simple, just play through the game. As I play through the game, I will find things. As I find the things, I will put them in my book. Yep. If you want to make your own Hogwarts Legacy field guide, I will be making another video that kind of goes through the, full process of creating the signatures, the book block, all of that sort of stuff. I won't be putting it in this video because this is already pretty long as it is. But if you want more, then wait for the next video. Hogwarts, a place I had never heard of in all my 15 years of life. Magic, a thing of fantasy. All real. Not only is it real, but I, Mononicus Alverosaur, possess a special ability to see and access an ancient form of this magic, a powerful and possibly dangerous form of magic. It all started in the past, in my dark past. Of 1 month ago, I was in the non-magical Muggle world, enduring undescribable British hardships, when the Hogwarts letter came, telling me I was a witch and possessed magical abilities. I, of course, had my doubts. How could I, Mononicus Alverosaur, control such powers? But then I remembered things from my past. My dark past. And magic is the only explanation for what occurred back then, so I agreed to go to this Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. I met with a man, Professor Fig, a teacher at this magical school. He promised to guide me through this strange new experience. We met on the night I was to arrive at Hogwarts. Me, Professor Fig, and a man from the ministry named George climbed into a flying carriage and headed on our way. At first we spoke of menial things, such as my enrollment in the school as a 5th year, but then the mood changed when George pulled out a mysterious object from Professor Fig's wife, who had sent the thing to George. Apparently she had been looking into a goblin rebel named Ranrock, and had sent George this object before she died. As I looked upon the object, I noticed a strange glow emanating from its surface. When I touched the cylindrical object, it opened to reveal a key within. George must have been followed, for as soon as the key was revealed, a dragon came from nowhere and chopped the half of the carriage holding George, killing him. Someone less experienced with tragic events would have been traumatized by such an occurrence, but not I, because I've seen darkness before in my past. The dragon shortly turned its attention towards myself and Professor Fig. We barely managed to escape with our lives by grabbing the key, which turned out to be a port key, and teleporting away before the dragon destroyed the rest of the flying carriage. The port key took us to a rocky cliff on the shores of Scotland. There we found an ancient, crumbling castle. Upon further inspection, I was able to identify the same strange glow coming from a wall. It was like looking through a window, and on the other side of the window was a pillared room with marble floors. When I touched the strange, glowing, window-like wall, me and Professor Fig were once again transported to a new location. This time we were taken to Gringotts Wizarding Bank. There we met a goblin who explained to us that he was the keeper of vault number 12, an ancient vault that was one of the first vaults put into the bank. And the portkey that had brought us to the cliffs and then the bank was the very key that would unlock vault number 12. The goblin brought us to vault number 12. As soon as we entered, the goblin locked us inside. On the far wall, I once again recognized the glow I'd been seeing. It was similar to the glass-like wall that brought me and the professor to Gringotts, but this time, when I touched the wall, it took us to a dark room. After some exploration, we came across stone knight warriors. Me and the professor had a grand battle with the warriors and rose victorious. Afterwards, we were led to a place with a thing called a pensieve. This magical basin showed us the memory of a man from the past, someone who could see ancient magic, just like myself. However, I had no time to ponder this, because shortly after, the goblin rebel named Ranrock ambushed us. It was quite the battle, but my affinity for seeing ancient magic helped me and the professor escape. I located another strange glass-like wall that transported me and Professor Fig to the grounds of Hogwarts. Professor Fig speculates that whoever had been leading us on this strange journey wanted us to end up at Hogwarts. I have my doubts, but I'm sure I will learn more later. On a less important note, after arriving at Hogwarts, I got sorted into a house called Ravenclaw. Not terribly interesting, but I suppose it may be worth my time. And now here I am at Hogwarts, staying in the Ravenclaw dorm room. Why is it called Ravenclaw if the house mascot isn't a raven? Wouldn't that make more sense? Because ravens are smart and supposedly the students in the house are also smart?